Hey everyone, it's Jenna from Canadian Beats Media. I'm joined today by Darryl James, known as the award-winning bassist of the Strumbellas, and for his solo project, Close Kicks, which we'll be talking about today in our newest segment of Zoomies. Welcome, Darryl.
Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Oh, happy to have you. So first off, care to introduce Close Kicks to our listeners?
Yeah, Close Kicks basically is a side project that I started to create in 2016 that really focused on collaboration, like a good pair of sneakers. And so it just sort of built with writing songs and producing songs with other people. And I've featured artists and I've written songs. And yeah, so it's just all things collaborative.
Okay. So you've unveiled your EP Colors. Tell us a bit about the writing and creative process behind that release.
So this one was a little different for me because I wrote and produced and mixed this entire record entirely on my own. Most times I had sort of reached out to other artists to write the song with. But this one I sort of built from the ground up. And then in the later stages, I reached out to some local players, local artists in my region. I live in Lindsay or the Kawartha Lakes region, just outside of Toronto, and had them help perform on the record, some drums, some backing vocals, some guitars. And then that's kind of how this EP was created, entirely written on my own, but helped performed by others in my community.
That's great. Um, so as you said, you worked with various artists from your hometown on your release. So what made you choose to take this route this time around instead of how you were doing it previously?
I think I just gained enough confidence in my ability to write my own music and put all the pieces together, like lyrically, melodically,
Hmm.
and then just like production wise. I had been working, with the Strumbellas for so many years, putting records together. I was like, I think I'm kind of ready to like take on this myself and see what I can do. And I strangely took this course in the pandemic. It was called Monthly, and Ryan Tedder was one of the courses. He's like a big songwriter in LA, and there's this idea of becoming 100% song creator. So like you can write melody, lyric, and do production, and that kind of enticed me to
Oh,
continue on and then do this.
oh, interesting. Okay. If you had to choose only one song from the EP for a brand new listener, which would you choose?
I think sort of the title, or not the title track. It's called "Never Gonna Give This Up." For me, I've been sort of really like wrapping my head around becoming like more sort of engaged in my municipal politics and just issues that feel important to me in general. I have three children, and just trying to kind of make the world a better place for
Mhm.
them. And that song's just kind of like, me sort of like finally recognizing that I want to stand up for what I believe in and why I want to do that, and that I want to fight for that sort of next generation, that they can have as good, if not better, opportunities that I have.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Describe your sound in 3 words.
Uh, uh, Alternative indie folk.
Okay. So the next 5 questions are just for fun. So, who was the first Canadian artist to catch your attention growing up?
Oh, wow. Honestly, I think it would be the Northern Pikes.
Okay.
In my hometown, there's a little theater called the Academy Theater. It was built in
Mhm.
like the late 1800s. It's got this great room. I help on the programming committee, so I'm very involved again now. But it was like one of the first shows I went to, and I think Crash Test Dummies opened for them.
Okay.
So that was sort of like my first introduction to Canadian music. I was probably like, man, 8, 10 years old, something like that, and fell in love with Canadian music from there on.
Yeah, awesome. What's one place in your hometown that you'd show someone who is visiting?
Oh, there's so many great spots. I would honestly, the Academy Theater, again, it's just this such a unique building that has so much energy. And in some ways, you're like, we're just so fortunate to have it's like a 550 cap room, huge ceilings, great acoustics. Anyone that enters that room is just like, wow, like this is
Mhm.
incredible. So yeah, I think that would be, as far as an artist coming to that community, I think that would
Mhm.
be a step one for them.
Great. What's your go-to karaoke song or your favorite song to cover?
Oh, wow. I don't do a lot of karaoke, unfortunately. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, cover music. That I always love playing a classic Corn Raymond, 3,000 Miles. It's a song, Canadian artist, Toronto artist. We played that a lot with the Strumbellas over
Mhm.
the years, and I was singing verses on that. So that's always a go-to for me around the campfire.
For sure. So, what was the first album you bought with your own money?
Ooh, man, that's a good question. I you know what? I wouldn't honestly be able to remember the first one, but it was somewhere between like Led Zeppelin and Metallica, I feel like.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't remember the exact album, but there was a period of time in which like I think there was some introductions to that world.
Okay. With barbecue season upon us, what's your favorite food to throw on the grill?
Oh, wow. This might be a little out there, but I love grilling vegetables. Like I love a grilled
Yeah,
vegetable on the
I do too,
barbecue. It's kind of
actually.
like a go-to for me. Like so, especially like eggplant can be really, really good. So, but then obviously, a good steak is great. But I'm gonna lean in toward the veggies right now.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that's it for Zoomies. Thank you for joining me and congratulations on the EP.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm just, yeah, honored to be here and think you're doing great stuff. So really appreciate it.